Now watch, this one they are going now. Nnamdi Kanu must be free. And they will pay him.
Amen.
Nigeria will pay billions.
Amen.
Next time when you want to arrest, look well. Look well. Don't arrest everybody. There are people you don't arrest a man that has grace upon his life.
Almost just over a year ago, I had a meeting with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where I discussed about the problems of Southeast, the insecurity in Southeast. You know, what do we do to address it? And he knows the problems, and he also has an idea. The whole idea is that there should be some level of equity extended to the Igbos of Southeast. Of course, the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they're asking for it. We know that that is something that has to be done. You know, it was just
Nnamdi Kanu to be
oh yes, yeah, of course.
Why do you think so?
Nnamdi Kanu has been in custody for some time now. I believe that he has been held unjustly. Many people feel that way.
As a lawyer, do you think so?
Oh yes, yes.
That the judicial process is unjust?
Yes, yeah, no, it has been. There's a lot of delays in prosecuting him and all that. If you want to get him tried and convicted, get on with it, you know. But this is a guy who has been held unjustly, as I said, you know, for so many months.
And the Buhari government started it.
I'm not talking about this government.
Trial. No, so the point I'm making now.
I'm talking about the previous government under Buhari when
it's facing a judicial process right now.
Yes.
Saying it's just because the argument is that there should be a political solution, maybe a null prosecution. Prosecution should be established on that for the case to be withdrawn. But there are those who say, well, there are allegations and it's left for the law for him to have his day in court, which is in process.
But as you know, there has been some pronouncements by the Federal High Court, which has not been respected. You know, so his incarceration is the main reason for the crisis in Southeast.
But the crisis started before he was even arrested.
No.
The killings, the burning of police station, the killing of police officers and all whatnot.
Well, look, the problem in Southeast is very different from what is said in the Northeast or Northwest and all those areas. You know, the problem in the Southeast has to do with the perceived injustice by governments, successive governments.
You're welcome for this program. As you can see, today being Monday, 2025, Nnamdi Kanu is going to court today, and we heard that top officials, great judges in 5 countries in Africa, they are coming to witness the case, and also some top officials such as UK, America and others, they are coming to witness the justice. What is your take over it?
Let me just tell you very clearly, Nnamdi Kanu is stepping into the court for self-defense today, as you can hear. That I'm going to give you a brief report of what transpired, you know, before we go into more detail in DSS custody. We are the DSS officer that actually attacked Nnamdi Kanu. Immediately he left the court premises on Friday. Unfortunately for that, DSS, you know, Nnamdi Kanu removed one of his teeth, you know, and he collapsed on the floor. Nnamdi Kanu, I think that would be a serious signal to the DSS officer, and for this hostility against Nnamdi Kanu currently now, I think he needs to be moved from that environment because it's becoming too hostile, surrounded by, you know, Fulani DSS, you know, persons. Nnamdi Kanu need to move out from there. One person should be very careful at this point in time, you know, because you cannot try a cleanse under such, you know, a hostile environment where DSS officer is seen to be attacking Nnamdi Kanu simply because he got people who are supposed to be protected or somehow big names into his summon and witness was, and they must need to appear, or else Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to invoke the World Court, Act that will guarantee him immediate referendum and leaving the Biafran, the court of Nigeria with Biafran sovereignty as a nation. They should be careful in dealing with somebody like that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Anyway, that is being credited to the Supreme Court judge of Togo, Edoha, Edo, that was the man who actually made that statement. That at this point in time, the Nigerian government needs to be very careful. You can see the Supreme Leader himself has just walked in and ready to, confront themselves, of course, the business of the day and defending himself. I hope that DSS will be able to allow people to come in and present his case file, or give him his case file before now, for him to study. Because we're just reporting to you his presence in the Federal High Court this morning, where he is being seen to step up his defense, and of course we want to see and acknowledge that as applications has been made on the invitation of the so-called elite, according to some Nigerians who are saying it is no good area for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to have involved certain names. But let me tell you, they need to come to court, because right now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has distanced himself from anything that has to do with kind of, understanding on what Omotosho was trying to do, because it looks as if clearly from all from everything playing out that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if he's not careful with the way Omotosho is presenting himself on this matter, and in the first place, he was not supposed to be tried, and anybody that is trying Mazi Nnamdi Kanu based on the process of what transpired in Kenya, that person might be seen, as carrying out judicial terrorism against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is what it means. So Omotosho is expected, to hands off his hand from the matter. Well, from what we are hearing, we don't know how truth it is. I think he's about to resign from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's matter, has been reported from on some platforms. After today, he will no longer, because people from United Nations, human rights organizations, the Judaist movement where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu belong to, the American Jewish community, people from Ethiopia. I've already told you that about 5 Supreme Court, judges led by the Supreme Court judge serving now in Togo, Edo is leading the delegates from different parts of the world, to be part of what is going on in Nigeria. And the whole world is watching. I think it was published, it was announced in CNN and other powerful media tweet over what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, how the Nigerian government deem it fit to try illegality on injustice committed against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The actor himself is not giving any damn. He knows that the jungle has matured, and this will likely lead to something that will have to be like what the man was saying. Nigerian government need to be careful at this point in time. Now that we are seeing that the Fulanis are the ones attacking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu right there in DSS. And secondly, I must say it very clearly. Now, it might trigger something that Nigeria will not be able to curtail. It is still within the jurisdiction of the President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to issue, a statement, either through memo or whatever channel he feels like, instructing the Attorney General of the Federation to withdraw from this matter. Nigeria is going to find it very difficult, and if care is not taken, it might lead to something Nigeria will want to regret about, because this kind of, a trial, coupled with intimidation and oppression and suppression, is being seen as, a complete process of injustice, and the whole world is watching. It might lead to any invasion. People can decide to take up anything upon themselves. Giving the kind of trial or oppression. President Kanu is actually going through at this particular point in time, and that is the message for here today. But what are we going to achieve? What are we going to achieve if Mazin Namdekano actually open defense? One, we are looking at his case file. We are looking at him being moved from DSS custody since he has started, exchanging hostilities with the Fulani people, persons in DSS officers, the Fulani DSS officers, right there, that led to his, I like that Mazin Namdekano was able to remove one of their teeth completely. So it is no longer friendly for Mazin Namdekano to remain there. What I beg you need to understand this very well, including those who are within the jurisdiction of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice. They need to do something. Nigeria Bar Association need to do something. Nigeria Judicial Commission need to do something. If Nigerian lawyers know that this thing is purely illegality, why are they keeping quiet? Nigerian lawyers, why are you people keeping quiet? Since you know that what is happening to Mazin Namdekano is totally illegal, why are they not speaking up? Yes, because the heat will be turned against anybody if anything happens to Mazin Namdekano. That is the message, and that is the fact. People who are coming from different walks of life to see how Nigeria is going to navigate or manipulate an already stated law, both the one that has been repealed, they want to still use it against Mazin Namdekano. But I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. Mazin Namdekano should be left off the hook. The process of which he was kidnapped does not allow any court of competent jurisdiction to try. That's the message. It does not. The process of which he was kidnapped, there's no court that can try such person. Apart from Nigeria, where we are seeing this kind of a thing. Mazin Namdekano has been there for years. His health is deteriorating, and they are manipulating everything. Is manipulation. Now he has thrown it to anybody at all. And I learned that he has also involved the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has to appear in the court. That guy you are seeing might get to a point that it has to become a world court decision. And if they fail, all the people that were summoned by Mazin Namdekano, they fail to appear, the world court can invoke a charter or an act that will allow Mazin Namdekano to walk away with Biafra referendum right there in a court. They should be careful with what they are doing at this point in time.
But assume those that Namdekano invited in court, if they refuse to appear, is there any negative reaction on that?
It's as simple as that, you can see what is already happening in the court, yes, they can do heavy. Mazin Namdekano fans are already here, you understand, with their song. It's another savior, that's Mazin Namdekano. This Mazin Namdekano now, that's the two slogans that is running. If they fail to come in, that means, they have indicted themselves, and it's as good as telling the whole world that Mazin Namdekano is just simply innocent, and he is.
Some good note that the wife of the former president of Muhammad Buhari has also cried out over Mazin Namdekano's decision to include the husband as the family. And secondly, we are also seeing a lot of delegates from World Bank in this regard who are already stationed, already arriving, that have arrived at Abuja for Mazin Namdekano's trial. And we're expecting that we are able to get more information on that. But we're saying from the insiders that it's possible that Mazin Namdekano, with the way things are, should actually seek referendum from the court proceedings and trial. Let's see how it's going to work out at the end of the day. But we're just saying it the way it is. Congratulations to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as we are seeing, even his enemies are now making statements talking about him, talking about his illegal detention, even within the political circle in Abuja. I would say a big thank you. We're expecting any moment from Nana Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released as he opens up defense in this